All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to go over today this week's price action Monday through Friday and some of the trades that we took this week. Really good week. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good reps in for practice. And this is just going to be like a rundown of delivery, I guess. So with that, why don't we just jump right in and waste no time getting into the weekly review. Okay, so I am on the 3-hour chart here. So we have our Monday through Friday's delivery here. And we're just going to hit this with some market structure. Okay, what has price been doing? What is Monday? Let's even go down to an hourly chart. Might make this a little bit easier. All right, so right off the rip here, this day here is a little bit of this going on. This day is this. This day is a whole bunch of this. And then this day is this. Okay. Now, what does that mean? This is our X day. This is our A day. This is our M. Followed by a little bit of this. And then a continuation down lower. We had a higher time frame objective. So basically what we're seeing here is we're seeing XAMD, right? So coming into Monday, this candle right here, obviously this is a news candle. This is a Trump tweet. This is not like normally happening every candle, obviously, right? This shot up super quickly. Now, what did this do here? This blasted so fast and so high. Who lost money here? A lot of people with a lot of money lost that money. So what's going to happen? They're going to build a bunch of liquidity and then make that money back. It's pretty simple. And like this whole idea actually comes from a different YouTube channel. So I don't want to take credit for that. Not like you need to be like, oh, I invented this or I did that. These are just like simple ideas. Like anyone can, like people have been looking at this kind of thing for hundreds of years, since economics and finance, since bartering and trade went to currency. This is the way it's been. There have been people hyper fixated on this. Okay, so this candle here, Monday's delivery, this is an X day. We create this crazy big candle here. Right, and then we eventually inverse it and then finally distribute lower. So distribution on Thursday and then also continuation distribution on Friday. But this gap here with this right here, this is an X day. So then going into Tuesday, you can anticipate accumulation, knowing that you're probably not going to be holding for like higher time frame objectives. Like I'm probably not going to be trading on this day, thinking that I'm going to short here and hit this low, or long here and hit this high. So why though, right? Let's grab the arrow again. Let me put it a little bit bigger. What is price doing and telling us? This huge run up into Monday, this is not normal. Okay, where are the bodies of these candles all stopping at this level right here? Where are these at this level right here? What did this do? Engineered liquidity here, came down. We made a market maker model structure internally down here on a sub 1 minute or 1 minute chart. We have our change in the state, smart money reversal, market maker buy model, aggressively repricing right above here, where this was conveniently engineered with relative equal highs, all the bodies stopping in the same place, leaving this behind in advance of this happening, mind you. This down here, before this even happens here, we know it's going up here. Basic market structure. It's the most important thing. And it's really not that hard. It's really not. Now, and I understand that if you're brand new, just getting started with trading, this is challenging. It's difficult. But you need to go through that basic learning portion of learning how to trade, unfortunately. But once you're past that, it's relatively simple. Market structure. Now, what's this down here? Okay. I'm so used to this being up top here. I'm going to put this back up here. What's this? That's a soup. Why don't we put a line here? Go to the 1 minute chart, and then we'll look at our delivery. Let me just make this a different color. Goodness. 2. Okay, we'll go 1. It's kind of weird that it's doing that. Okay, but I'm gonna get rid of this here. We're gonna go to the 1 minute chart right down. I'll put this on there. There. Gotta bring it back, bring it back. Here we go. Okay, how easy is this, right? What did we do? We gap down, we accumulate. This is this, accumulation, right? Engineer low, taking out these lows. One more time where everyone enters and gets stopped out. Soup, turtle soup. Changing the state of delivery above this high here. Come back down, test this area. And then it's kind of funny. We have a model inside of a model inside of a model. And then we go to the races here. Now look at this, okay? What is this here? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? This is what's happening that we see on the hourly chart. This is what's happening that we see on the 1 minute chart. And then inside of here, what is this right here? Accumulation, boom, manipulation, and then the move that takes everyone out who tries to go early, turtle soup, boom, we use that area to then go higher. So it's models inside of models, fractalized down, and this is just based off of market structure, okay? There's nothing flashy or secret about this. The candles on the chart is just what we're looking at here, okay? So coming into Monday, obviously, I didn't trade this. I didn't see this until after. But knowing that that happened and you take out the original consolidation, now let's look at the higher time frame. What have we been doing? We've been accumulating. We manipulated up, grabbed liquidity. We changed the state of delivery, okay? Right here, we change the state of delivery. We come back, we test that area. We go down. We've been accumulating here. We've been looking heavy. Does that look like sells to you? It sure does to me. Like if you were to just not see, and I know I could do replay, but we're just going to do this. If you could just not see this and you're seeing this right below here, and then all these, look at the bodies here, right? Look at the bodies here. These just poke just above into this little volume imbalance here, if that's what you want to call that. And then we roll over. Internally, what do we do? The exact same thing. Right here, the last couple days, boom. There's some kind of imbalance that we poke up and then we drop. Okay. Now let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Go back to the hourly here. Okay, so that's Monday's move. So we're seeing this happen. obviously we know that the rest of the price action for today, it's either going to keep going or it's probably going to chop around, right? Now let's actually throw on some of the executions and then we'll see what we were doing with. So I took this 50K paper account and I was able to run it up. Let's just look at the balance history, the very first day. So this was ongoing from, or is this the most recent? What is today? Today is the 28th. There's more. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, so since the 24th, so 4 days, we were able to get, and all the trades are here. Well, I'll show you all of them. So we were able to easily pass a 3K challenge account. And the goal here is I'm just trying to get reps in. So we'll go over these. I'll touch base on the Lucid account as well towards the end of the video. Basically, same ideas apply for that for me. However, much less size. So I'm working on developing my comfortability with trading with more size on the paper account. And then as far as the Lucid account, I'm still getting used to trading props. So I have 1 to 3-ish micros. If it's a setup that I'm very confident in, I'll throw up to 10 on there. Really depends. But it's gotta really, like, the stars gotta align for me to throw like 5 to 10 contracts on something. Paper account, I'll throw that all day. As long as, you know, I have a good setup. Obviously, we're not just going in here and just like slinging to press the button. We're doing drills, exercises. We are getting ourselves accustomed to the way that we like to trade, and we're finding, and I'm finding out new things every week, ways that make me the way that I am, the way that I think. Trading is one of the best personal development vehicles of all time. I'm convinced of that. But let's just go into Tuesday. Okay, so we didn't even trade on Monday for this account. I believe I did on my Lucid though. So let's actually just pull that up. Okay, so here's where we're sitting at right now on the account. So this is my Lucid account, 50K. There's just the one here. And basically we're sitting at 1481.50 for profits, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we took a short this day. Yeah, this one ended up getting chopped up a little bit here. I mean, obviously when I say chopped up, like obviously I was in profits the whole time and it came back and then stopped me out. But nonetheless, we were able to capitalize on some of these internal moves. And with it being such a large run after, knowing that we're going to spend some time, like I'm not trying to hold these forever. And obviously like I'm managing my stop pretty aggressively here. So we'll go back and look at this on the on TradingView actually now. Okay, so if we zoom into 1027. Okay, so what I'm seeing is us reject hard right off the top here. We've basically come back down. We broke below this low. We've come back into all of this area. We've been engineering these lows. Okay. This low, this low, this low, this low, that low, that low, that low. Now, one other thing here that screams I'm going to go lower to me is just the basic structure of where the bodies are stopping. And this is not like a perfect. This is all very subjective. I understand that. This is the way that I trade, and it works very well for me. All right, so I do see us using that. Let's see here. I like this one. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to find here is where the bulk of the bodies are, or the bulk of the volume in the body is. Basically like stacked relative equal lows, and then basically engineering liquidity for us to take later. We're constantly taking the buy side liquidity. We're constantly taking highs above us And then once we get to this high here, which looks awfully like a rejection block to me, we end up essentially breaking down again, accumulating, manipulating, and then distributing lower. This is basically like mitigation to me. Super, super important. One of the most important things that I think gets overlooked with mitigation is that breaker kind of takes the spotlight. And if you're not familiar with what a breaker is, a breaker would be this, for example, if this made a higher high and then broke through, retested, and then went lower. Now, a mitigation is more so this, where you make a failure swing that doesn't take the high, and then you come back down. I think people sleep on mitigation. I think mitigation is one of the best of all time, okay? And this is just personal experience because it's so telling, right? Who was trying to go long here? Who was trying to go long all the way here? Who saw this and was like, well, we're going to get on this. This is going to the moon, right? We come back down. Who's underwater here? As soon as this candle hits and then immediately gets destroyed by this death candle, everybody who was here is underwater, right? We come back down. There's a mitigation in here too. And to drive the point further, I'll draw that out. Look at this here, right? This is a high, low. This right here is a failure swing that we displaced through. What are we going to do? We're going to come back to this area and then reject off because the area that we're trying to get to is lower. Everyone who is losing money is going to get that back here to feel comfortable, or they need air. They're literally underwater. They mitigate their positions, get rid of it, get it off the books. I don't want to be a part of this. It's been too anxious. It's been uncomfortable. I can't hold this trade anymore. I need to get out while I still can. You know, we mitigate, we come back down. Now, that's this one right here, okay? That's this one, come back up, we roll over. There's probably a fractal one, even sub 1 minute. We create this little rejection block that we come and tap into later. But there's this higher one here. Come back down, and then we come back, we failure swing. We don't actually hit it. We come back down, take out a little bit extra fuel to give us enough energy to get back up to that area. And then what happens, we tap it, and then we start our trading downward. And then we basically go down, okay? Now this mitigation block technically would be something like, and this is not perfect, like I'm not being accurate with this, just know that like this is very loose, this is very fluid. You could go to a higher time frame chart, find the exact very end block. You know, obviously a lot of these concepts, you know, the language behind them comes from ICT, and like go learn this from the source, okay? Anything power of 3 related, go learn this from the source, right? Go learn from ICT, go learn from Hobby. And there's a lot of other great teachers out there too, right? Whatever resonates with you. But if you want the actual context and you want to know that you're getting correct information on how the original author meant it to be, go to the original source. However, not to take away from my own videos, obviously, like if you're watching this, thank you. And all I'm really doing is I'm just trying to create systems in place for myself where I review this, I get better at trading by doing this. And then by proxy, anyone who watches these who might be further behind than where I'm at now might benefit, right? So it benefits everyone. Mostly the plan for me is like, I'm basically trying to hypnotize myself into being like the best trader of all time. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do here. And these videos are for the future version of myself or the past version of myself. Just, we are the best trader. That is the vision, right? Get a vision, aim at it, and show up. That's it. Okay. I'm not claiming to be anything. I am not trying to be anything. I'm just here enjoying trading, looking at the charts and breaking down things that I see. All right, so enough of that, but basically mitigation, I think people sleep on it. Long story short, when you see that, oftentimes we're gonna come back. And if you watch some of the previous execution videos or like the price reading days, you'll see me mark out mitigation. When you see that, I'm expecting price to come back to that area and then trade away. Okay, that's kind of what that means. So basically getting in here, and then I was a little bit early to this move. So one of the things that happens to me quite frequently is if I am in a trade, I'll get, some of the partials off, obviously thinking price action is going to be not the greatest today. This one came back on me and then stopped me out in profit. And then the real move ended up happening. Let's go back to TradeZella just to see, did I take any other trades this day? Yeah. So I was early, right? And then we ended up getting in on a continuation lower just because I was anticipating that, we were going to eventually go down here, which it did. And then we chopped around that area. So basically I was looking for like this gap here. That gap there would have been like the area that we would have like stalled out at. So I was looking for something a little bit just shy of that, right below these lows, right? So we ended up selling here. I was pretty confident on this one too. And then we ended up taking those back here. So this was a pretty big trade. The stars kind of aligned on this one. And I quickly realized that obviously the price action for the rest of the day wasn't going to be super volatile with like large spanning moves of like 6, 7, 1,000 ticks or points, what have you. But we ended up getting that one off. And this is the biggest trade on the account so far, which is pretty cool. But with that being said, okay, so yeah, so I guess we're kind of like already here now, so might as well we're doing the Lucid stuff mid-roll. So if that's all you're here for, Lucid account is at 1481.5. These are the best stats that I've ever had so far, and these are constantly getting better because what I literally do is I am at home, I trade, I make these videos, and I literally like watch them back like I'm watching tape of myself to like train myself to get more in tune with the way that I'm trading, the mistakes that I'm making. And oddly enough, it works for me. So we're going to keep doing that. Okay. All right. So let's go back to TradingView and let's just take a look-see. Man, that would have been a nice move though. So we got in down here and then we sold that bottom back right here. Okay. Why don't we get rid of all this stuff? All right, so let's go back to the hourly. Let's go over Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday we know is going to be accumulation. Why? Because Monday was the next day, right? This crazy move blasted us higher, created this like rejection block area where all of these bodies were unable to, break through here, basically engineering this to come back later to be taken. Market maker buy model. We do have all of those fractal market maker buy models inside of here. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that this is a market maker buy model. These two candles are one. This whole thing is one right up to the bottom of this candle, rejecting off. Then you have market maker sell model here. This is an internal sub 1 minute market maker buy model where these candles are right here. Basically the counter trend move of market maker models. Basically a counter trend market maker model structure before the actual move, because this is actually a fractal buy model that is a counter trend model before the actual move of this being a sell model with distribution, right? And then the higher time frame is we're obviously in a sell model. This is the left side of the curve. We're looking for sells here, and then we kind of switch, looking for buys here. Obviously this is one big candle, so that's kind of ridiculous. Like you're not going to get in on this. You won't get filled. But overall, we rejected this engineered liquidity. again, another fractal step out, a counter trend market maker model before the actual move. Okay, it's definitely something to look into. I might be crazy. Do not listen to me. So Tuesday, we're accumulating. We have our X day. We've rejected here. The market maker buy model has completed. We have left this intact. This is basically like a data candle to me. And like, what are they going to do here? Somebody lost a lot of money here. They want to make that back. Obviously, that's what this is, right? So much more money that could ever be imaginable than most of us will ever comprehend. We are nothing to them, right? We do not move this market. Somebody's going to want to get that back. So what do? They engineer a bunch of sell side liquidity. They make everyone think they're going higher. They reject. Boom, distribution lower, blasting through here, taking all those stops here. So Tuesday, we're accumulating, right? Let's look at the price action for Tuesday. We know that we don't want to hold things very long. Why? Because it's accumulation day. Okay, Tuesday. What are we doing here? What do we see coming in? What did overnight session do? We created a market maker buy model here. And if you're not familiar with those structures, I can do videos on that in the future. Obviously, at this point in time, like nobody's watching this channel, so nobody's asking me questions, and I'm kind of just doing this right off the rip and just making things for myself to talk the ideas out. But in the future, if anyone is watching this and they do want specific things or videos to be made, throw a comment or like let me know. I would definitely enjoy having some type of interaction with anyone watching the video to if I can elaborate on things or cover certain topics. There are some things that I probably won't cover. I think the base core structure of most understanding needs to be in market structure first. Okay. I think that's what has helped me the most. So I do stress that. I stress market structure and narrative are the two biggest players in my trading. And I truly believe that it's allowed me to see things with great clarity. And obviously the market will humble me very quickly. Like I'm going to lose again. It's 100% guaranteed that I will lose in the future. Okay. That's just the way this works. And obviously don't listen to me. Don't listen to a single thing I say. Market maker buy model. This is Tuesday price action. Basically what we're seeing here is this is an accumulation day. So we're looking for like internal structure that we don't really want to hold very long because we're not really sure, right? Like, and when I say that, like we see this here, like, yeah, this could be another market maker buy model, but the higher time frame structure is telling me that we're going lower. So I'm not going to take this change in the state when we blast above here, right here. Okay. When we blast above this high, this leg here blasts above and comes down. If I was trading then, I believe I took something in the Lucid account here. With it being an accumulation day, I'm not looking to hold this all the way to up here and then having this come back and then stop me at a break even and then possibly go, right? No, because it's accumulation. It's accumulation day. You don't want to hold this shit. You just don't want to do it. Okay. So what do? We come back up. We could throw, I'll go to a 3-minute chart here. Sometimes the 3 minutes a little bit clearer just to kind of clean up some of the quote unquote noise. There is no such thing. There's no noise. Everything's perfect. But just for the sake of example here, if I were to pull some kind of like OTE off of the shelf here to here, and basically OTE, this is something that comes from like the ICT vocabulary. Go and watch the original source. if you want all of the logistics on it. These are the same settings from the videos that he has. Obviously, he's got more in different things, like take it with a grain of salt. These are literally just settings on a Fibonacci tool. It's not as mystical as people make it think. Like, what are your Fib settings? It's not that crazy, okay? But these are the levels for OTE. This 38 level is added by me. I just like to monitor that. But basically, we come up to this OTE, man. OTE and the market maker model structure, bro. And then mitigation, people sleep on this, dude. People sleep on this, I swear. Okay, so what are we doing, right? We are at OTE here. We're coming up. We're basically sizing in here. We take a couple back here. And then we end up... so this is actually two different trades here. So we size in, we get out, we get in, and then we get out. Okay. Actually, this one here. So the two trades, we size in here, here, and here. So buying the way up. We get them all out here. One runner on is taken off here because it comes back and then breaks us out. We then show that we're going to reject this. We get back in, and then we get out right at like the low of this body here. Okay. So that was this trade. Basically, the idea here is super simple market structure. We have a bearish idea, this huge crazy candle coming into Monday, right? Super bullish. Somebody wants to make their money back. Where's it going to go? Where the money was left. The money was left, given to somebody, right? This came up. All of these people that were trying to go short here, just obliterated. They got to make that back. Okay. The gap's going to get filled. That's basically what this is. Somebody lost money. They need to get it back. And again, the fractal model inside of the fractal model. Okay. Basically what we're doing here is in the morning session, we do have a market maker buy model fractalized, right? This would be our original consolidation here. Come down, smart money reversal, taking a sweep here, possibly delivering out of a higher time frame area. This could also be OTE of this news candle. You know, you got to get creative with these things, guys. And it is. Of course it is, because why wouldn't it be? OTE and market maker models. I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? If you know, you know. We come down, OTE, we have a liquidity sweep, right? This is an area that we've seen be reactive before, this OTE area. We then basically smart money reversal, and then we trade higher, taking out the internal original consolidation or OTE of the left side of the curve. And because that's not the actual full move just yet, we're basically going to go down. We engineered these lows here. We came back down to take those out. We basically created another set of lows right above these. So this is being engineered. You know that this is going to be taken out later because this didn't just drop below this low. We came down to grab more fuel below these lows. The bodies were overlaid, stacked above these bodies where they did not cross. Basically, this is a relative equal low. Now look at this though. Look at the bodies here. There's wick, but the body, right? We break down below here. That's basically the fractal model of what's happening on the bigger time frame. We're coming up, we're engineering these lows. We take out those right here to get more energy to create our move to finish what we started. Fractalize that down. We create this low. We take out those lows to grab more energy to finish what we started. Fractal models inside of fractal models, guys. That is what you're looking at here. These candlesticks are fractalized down and fractalized out. It is amazing. And it's the coolest thing. So, again, here, engineer low, take out the low, engineer low, take out the low, and then we finish what we started, right? Distribute higher. OTEs everywhere in here. We have our MMXM structures. We have this. This is like a higher time frame one. And then you have the lower time frame one here, right here. And then you have the counter trend before the real move. This is your sell model here. Boom. And then you have your bigger model here, which is actually this whole thing. I don't know why I was going to draw another one, but so we see this. This is our counter trend move before the real move. And then if you want to get fancy, we can look at this OTE right here, because why wouldn't it? I don't know. It's probably nothing. Probably doesn't mean much. Don't listen to anything I say. So basically we're looking at a counter trend play here. So these shorts come from understanding that we're likely going to be bearish. And then on multiple fractal levels, we have our counter trend models before the real move. So this is technically this here, this counter trend model before the big move, which is also the counter trend model if we zoom out before way over to the right here, the big move. Okay, there's like layers to this and it's a little bit difficult to explain. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to, you have to look at these things enough on your own from a non-fight or flight mode perspective, where you looking at the chart doesn't evoke visceral fear and your blood pressure doesn't go up through the roof. You need to be able to sit down and like literally look at these things with clarity. Super hyper fixated negative emotions, they don't allow that to happen. And on this channel, I'm the biggest advocate of sitting down and making this an enjoyable process. I think that's the most important thing. But so going through Tuesday, and we're obviously just covering market structure. You can throw on ranges here. That's not something I'm going to do in this video. You'll see a lot of that in my execution videos and whatnot. But, you know, the core structure of having this narrative comes from this market structure, and then where the body's closed in the candle paired with MMXM and OTE. We're coming into Wednesday, manipulation day. What's manipulation day? You can expect this to just switch up on you and go from long to short, from long to short. So basically what we ended up doing here, let's see, we shorted here, we bought back here. So this was one that ended up playing out, but early. And then we bought here. Oh, so this was actually, I believe, did we average in? I have a video of this. We'll have to just go back and watch the video. This was early. We then ended up getting in here and then getting in at the very low here. Where is that last candle? Hold on here. Where are you? Hold on. Let's just go to like a, go to the 1 minute. I forgot I was on the 3 minute chart. Whoops. Here we go. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. I was like, no, I know I got in at the bottom because I had a limit order there. Okay. So we size in. So this was a, we bought, we sold, and then the rest of them came back and stopped out. So it was early, trying to long this up to where this high was, basically seeing this as the area that we would reject off of. I know we had talked earlier in the video where this whole area, we basically are seeing as a fractal model of like the higher time frame. What's the higher time frame? On Monday, we had that big candle open. It's basically this right here that we come down and we need to go lower. That's what you see on the hourly. Is exactly what happened for Monday here. Okay, where we have boom, this big void, and then we need to go lower. That's exactly what's happening inside of here. Let's go back down to the 1 minute, see that. Scrub through, scrub through. That's exactly what's happening here on a smaller level, but nonetheless, it's the same. Okay, we grabbed liquidity. We created these this like accumulated shelf area here. What do I see here? I see the bodies of this candle right here to the tick. Basically, this wick, these bodies blast through. We engineer just before that area to then come back and then tap later. We create this huge void here. Somebody lost money. They're going to want to make that back. So we're going to go seek these lows likely, right? We rejected off of this with a big wick. We're going to probably come back up to mitigate something on a sub 1 minute or OTE. What if I threw this on here? Boom. And then what if I do OTE blocks? Okay. Boom. Hits the high of the OTE. Now this obviously isn't perfect, but you get the idea. Okay. Then we come down, right? This was a loss here. So I tried to take this on the account overnight and went to bed, and then it came down and lost me. Like, so obviously there's losses on this account. In one of the videos, I scroll through all of the balance history, and if you want to slow it down, you can look. There's losses in there, and we brought this bad boy up to over $5,000, which is amazing. You know, I'm finally getting better at this, which is so exciting for me. So I can see that this is something that possibly could work for me. I have a lot of work to do yet. So, all right. So basically we are going lower. This is Friday's price. Oh shoot. I was a little bit ahead of myself here because we were looking at this right here. That's so funny. Anyways, so this was a good one. We basically pyramided in, and then we unloaded here, and then the last one got taken out for a runner, I believe, and then we ended up selling again for a short continuation play on Thursday. I got all the videos. You can watch them all, but kind of going through some of the price action here. Okay, so we saw our OTE. We came up. We rejected. This all happened overnight, mind you. So essentially, this is showing to me coming into Friday. We already know that Friday should be a distribution day. Now, if we go back to the hourly, I know I'm jumping around a lot. I apologize for that, but we have our Monday, which is our X day. This is our accumulation day, our manipulation day. And then our Thursday is our distribution day. And then Friday is another distribution day, right? So we are coming in and trying to take one-sided moves on Thursday and Friday. But if you have counter trend moves in there, I do tend to enjoy playing those counter trend plays. But yeah, so shoot, I'm not very good at some days I have really good flow and some days I don't. But we're here, we're doing it, we're making this video. So we ended up selling here, buying back here, then ended up sizing in here and then getting off here. Obviously these did not play out as well as I would have liked, just because we were in such bearish order flow. This was like the counter trend move. I was hoping this was going to be more of a deeper retracement counter trend. But what ended up happening was we ended up coming back to OTE and then just like rejecting off of the OTE and then coming down again. So I was kind of hoping, like, just in case we wanted to get to these stacked highs, right? But we didn't end up getting there. So I took it off here. But yeah, right. So this was a fun one. So we ended up getting all out here. This was our last runner that came back. So we sized in. Let me get my arrow here. So we sized in at the bottom here. We got out. We left a runner that came back, took me out in profit. That would have actually hit the target I was looking for up here. But I got taken out and I ended up getting in perfect timing. This massive volatility injection just comes and blasts through the target. So that was a fun one for Friday to be in. Very, very nice trades for this week. But yeah, and then we took this last one, basically just thinking that we were going to continue on going lower. So yeah, so that's kind of this week's price delivery. The biggest thing for me is this overall narrative, right? what have we been doing is accumulating. And what have we shown a willingness to do? Basically break down and accumulate in this area that should be suppressing price if we're going to go lower. That's super simple, right? This is technically a breaker block. What's a breaker? We have this, higher high, low, come back. This would be a bearish breaker, something right here. So then you're looking to trade this down. And it retests in here, or you can turtle soup and you can soup this high right here, right? Some of the entries in the Lucid account, you'll see me do that as well. And there's different ways that you can do this, but the core idea behind having the directional bias and what you're looking for is, one, knowing the environment you're in. Is it X, A, M, or D? And two, what is the market structure telling you? And then you compare that with an entry system, possibly market maker model plus OTE. And it's the simplest thing in the world. It's so simple. There's like no moving parts. It's the most simple thing. And obviously this is just for entertainment purposes, but it doesn't have to be so difficult. Now it can be, and it's very fun to interweave more in depth and get really accurate and precise, which is something that I'm striving more towards. I find it really enjoyable to be going down those rabbit holes, but you don't need that stuff. You really don't. The best trades are the ones that you just have a good read. The model shows itself. You take the trade and then you hold it and you try to hold your winners and cut your losers. Price is either going to go up or down, and it doesn't have to be so difficult. But I understand the idea of being, you just don't know. Like when I first started trading, I didn't even know what a long or short position was. Mind you, this wasn't that long ago, just a couple years ago. And the amount of progress I've made because I've basically taken to just locking in and just like focusing on my own development and my understanding and showing up to the charts from a non-fight or flight mode perspective. That's the most important thing. Narrative and not being stressed out will make you so much more clear on what you see in price. But I didn't know left from right. So there is that beginning stage that you need to work through. You need to know the basics. You need to have the schema in your head of ideas and concepts to be able to think about these things and have a language around them to be able to help yourself pull out of you what you understand. Okay, that's what you're looking for, is you're creating this ability to pull of these things out of yourself that will show you understanding on a level that only you can know. Okay? You have to do this. No one's going to do this for you. What's going to make you the trader you're looking to be is yourself. Okay? It's you. But don't listen to anything I say. And yes, you can throw many tools at this. You could do a volume profile on here if you wanted to. I know that's pretty big if you're trying to like scalp this. Basically hit the value area high, you're rejecting it, bodies are closing below. You're basically testing the POC, you break out, you retest, and then you go short. Right? Boom, you're holding. Boom, break the POC, you break out. Here, you retest, you go short. Okay, and there's so many ways that you can do this. So many ways. It doesn't have to be just this one way or one set of ideas. You need to find what makes the most sense to you. You need something that is simple. You need to understand basic market structure. And then you need to be able to create a narrative. And obviously you don't need to do anything, right? Don't take any of my advice. Don't listen to anything I say. These are just ideas that have helped me. And if it helps you, that is super cool, right? But I do enjoy making these videos, but that was kind of the idea of this week's price delivery. And I've been on a hot streak lately. It's been very fun. I am expecting every next trade I take to be a loser, but we're working towards consistency. I'm basically showing up every day, and I'm just trying to get more comfortable, just trusting my analysis, keeping things a little bit more simple. When I want to go down on a very microscopic level and do very technical, or bring up very technical attitudes towards interacting with price, I can do that. However, some of the best trades that I have are trusting the analysis, seeing the model, pressing the button, and then just letting it be. Okay. Some of the best trades that I've been taking, I'm holding for over an hour to 3 hours, right? And that basically comes down to those environment selection ideas that I was talking about. Are you an X day, an A day, an M day? Or if you don't like my memory card, my camera just got filled up, so the video recording has stopped. But if you don't like that terminology, use a different terminology or idea structure, right? What did we see? We have this huge gap. Gap's got to get filled. Okay, right? It doesn't have to be this, I only have one set of ideas and it has to be this way. This has to be a rejection block. It can't be resistance or this or that. And obviously trading is very subjective, but I think finding what works for you is one of the biggest gate-kept secrets out there. They say you need to sign up for my thing and learn from me. And obviously, I'm not selling anything at this time. Not saying that I never will, but I have no interest in doing that at the moment. I'm not married to any of my ideas. Ideas change, but at this moment in time, who's gonna listen to me? Nobody's gonna listen to me, right? So I'm focusing on myself and getting better at trading because that's what I want to do anyway, right? That's why I'm doing this, is to help myself get better at this. Showing up to the chart, and this is one of the most slept on things. People, when they say that you got to put the work in, it doesn't mean that you got to stare at the charts and anxiously watch video after video that people put out online of new ideas and learning new things and always reaching for what's new, what's next. It's really sitting down and just figuring out what works best for you and just getting comfortable. What do you see when you're looking at a chart like this? What stands out to you? Obviously, I have this indicator that I built where it breaks up the days. There's specific lines and whatnot. And yeah, that's really helpful for me. And it really helps with just basic market structure, just knowing where price is in correlation to other things. But having something that is relatively simple for your framework, like market structure, is the most important thing. And then sitting down and being able to throw other types of tools that speak to you, or should I say the candles are speaking and showing you. You're basically just extracting those things outside of you, being prompted from what just resonates with you and what you're noticing in price, and then you read between the lines. All that to say, show up to the charts. Don't even trade. If you're too strung out when you're trying to enter a trade and you just don't see anything, just don't even trade, or just paper trade. Just throw on a demo account with a 50K count on paper and just get used to trading 1 to 2 micro contracts. Do it for 3 or 4 weeks. That's not that much time. You're going to figure out what you notice more and get creative with these things, right? Understand the basics of market structure, go to the original sources, learn the ideas that you need, but then come back and then don't make it so stressful on yourself, right? And all that's good and fun, but obviously if you're just, starting trading and you don't really have a good idea of what you're looking at, it's a little bit more challenging. And obviously some of the videos that I've that I'll post on this channel. Like, obviously you need that background knowledge to understand. I do plan on making an entire bootcamp series of videos for the YouTube channel in the future. You know, something just basically going through market structure, what a candle is, open, high, low, close, some of the other relatively simpler core ideas that you'll have for market structure and some of the things that I look at. But it's nothing new. It's nothing fancy. It's stuff that people have been talking about for hundreds of years, you know. And then obviously there's the concepts from ICT that he has released. And I urge everyone, whether it be ICT or Power of Three or what have you, go to the original sources and learn them. And then when you want to put some sauce on it, find what resonates with you, or if you have other videos that you enjoy watching. Obviously, I'm not trying to get anything from you. I'm doing this for myself. I'm literally trying to hypnotize myself into being a good trader. And it's working. So with that being said, I'll thank you guys for watching. Sorry the video cut out, but I think it's kind of fitting for the end of this video. So if any of this is interesting to you or you're curious about anything further, let me know in the comments, but consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future and other styles of videos. If there are types of videos or styles of videos that you guys would like to see, I can accommodate that. I'm always interested in being creative and trying new ideas out. And this is one big experiment to hopefully find myself on the other side of being a profitable trader. And we're making good ground. So I say we're doing good. And with that, I bid you, my friends, adieu.